News of the day. So, on a day where we've only got one game, there's some good news, bad news in today's news, I guess. Good news potentially if you're a Sens fan. Duchesne is apparently nearing an extension with the Ottawa Senators. Matt Duchesne looks at Ottawa and goes, I like it here. It's nice. Which is kind of odd. Because, remember the Uber video? You know what's funny? In 7 games since the Uber video, he's got 6 goals and 9 assists. And I said at the time, it could be the best thing that happens to the team. Hasn't been the best thing for the penalty kill. The penalty kill's still in the toilet. But Duchesne's totals have been fantastic. Of course, it is a contract year. You got to be careful when you're giving out money to a guy who's in a contract year. They could put up a ton of points, and then the year after, they've made their money. And then a couple years after that, you're in an Oilers with Lucic type situation where he's not scoring and there's not much you can do about it. Brooks Orpik is out 4 to 6 weeks after a procedure on his right knee. Surgery? Probably, maybe not. Anyways, whatever they did, it's going to put him out 4 to 6 weeks for Brooks Orpik, which is a blow to a Washington Capitals blue line at a time when they're already dealing with enough injuries as it is. Although Holtby's back now, so that helps a lot. So we'll see how Washington deals with that. Artemi Panarin and his agent are to discuss contract next month, just in time for Christmas. It's interesting. I only look at this as interesting for this reason. Panarin said before the season that he had a deadline of September 15th. After that, he wasn't going to discuss contract. Maybe the fast start by the Columbus Blue Jackets has got him thinking, I could stay here. Maybe he's thinking that. And we don't know what he's thinking for sure, but maybe that's part of it. Maybe they're solid enough and he looks around at the rest of the league and he says, you know what, I'm better off just staying where I am than trying to take my chances somewhere else. Mike Yeo gets fired, and right away I'm seeing articles going, Quenneville? Is Quenneville going to St. Louis? I don't know, Quenneville? And I had a feeling that would happen because, again, Joel Quenneville coached there before. He coached in Colorado before, too, but Colorado highly unlikely to fire Coach Bednar. But Quenneville will find a job as soon as he wants one. I really think that he's going to have himself a job. I'd be very surprised if he's still out of work by the trade deadline. Ben Bishop has a lower body injury, soft tissue injury, that is going to keep him out for approximately a week. Muscle strain. It sounds the way that they've been describing it sounds like a Charlie horse, and it must just be something more than that. Maybe just a thigh bruise, something along that line. Which can affect your hamstring. It doesn't sound like it's anything major, but it's one of those things that you got to keep your eye on. Sometimes these teams will sort of make it sound like that's not a big deal, and then a couple weeks later they're like, okay, maybe it's a big deal. Patrice Bergeron, he's out, and if you read this, you can see how I feel about it. Bergeron out too. Why not? 4 weeks, sure. Shoulder injury, great. That's awesome. That's fantastic. Riley Nash, he's in Columbus. Awesome. Last year when Bergeron got hurt, he gets hurt every year. This is just how Bergeron works. He gets hurt all the time. Riley Nash stepped in on that first line, and he was fantastic. Now he's in Columbus. He's not putting up points in Columbus, but I can't see Boston reaching out to Columbus for him. They've called up Colby Cave, and we'll see what happens. But nobody's going to replace what Bergeron's been doing this year. It is a huge blow for a Boston Bruins team that was already dealing with Chara being out for a month and numerous other injuries on the blue line. McAvoy hasn't played since his concussion 7 games into the season. It's getting rougher for Boston. Really, really is. Noah Juulsen's out with a facial fracture. He takes a puck in the face. If only there was some kind of facial protection players could wear. I mentioned this a couple days ago when, or it may have actually been yesterday, when I was talking about Cam Fowler being injured. And, Don Cherry talking about don't put your stick out because puck will hit you in the face. I don't understand why they don't do more to protect their face. Even now, the visors, I've noticed the visors are starting to get tilted further and further back. How does it... Oh, good. Now it's protecting your forehead. I don't understand it. I don't understand players deciding that safety isn't as important as comfort. Get the safety first and then get comfortable with it. Because these owners are paying a lot of money for players. And I'm surprised owners don't assert themselves more in this way to protect their investment, right? Because right now the investment in Juleson, even though he's on an entry-level contract, well, now he's out with a facial fracture. Cam Fowler, big money put into him by Anaheim. He's out with a facial fracture. So, they've got to be able to figure this out. Max Domi now has a 10-game point streak, which is noticeable because, every time you talk to a Montreal Canadiens fan, their answer will be Domi. And you can ask them almost anything, Max Domi. Were you just coming out of Tim Hortons? Max Domi? No, don't do that. Max Domi. It's sort of like Groot, but with Max Domi in the place of Groot. I am Groot. I'm Max Domi. Detroit, Helm's out 6 to 8 weeks with a shoulder injury. Helm doesn't score, but he's a veteran guy on a team that needs veterans. So it is a notable injury for that reason. And last but not least, Vincent Trocheck was stretchered off the ice last night. Bugner was quoted after the game saying this is not a short-term thing. It's now been revealed he's having leg surgery today, and it's significant. It's extensive surgery, so he could be out for a very long time. But on the upside for Florida, Mike Hoffman's now on a 16-game point streak. It's something. So we'll see what happens with Trocheck. It's a blow to a team in Florida that's been trying to get themselves going. And we'll see if that allows somebody else like a Jared McCann to step in and start putting up more points. Or if it's another setback leading to perhaps missing the playoffs again. Anyways, there you go. News and notes for today. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. If you're browsing your way through, you just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll talk to you again soon.